Hello everyone, today I'm taking on a transformative journey here on Mount Vernon Street. The first step is crucial for a clean canvas. I'm applying wet and forget to tackle any mildew or algae, making sure our paint job stands the test of time. After this, I then went and I scraped off any chipping paint and applied liquid nails. It's essential for a smooth finish when painting to make sure to chip off any pieces of flaking paint. Afterwards, I went up on the dormers and the eaves and I painted them with a high gloss white paint. I'm using a special kind of paint which is sold at Lowe's, which can be applied when it is below freezing outside. After I painted the dormers, I then moved on to the side of the house to paint the vents. After scraping and prepping the vents, I then painted them. I then moved on to the other side and I scraped the ventilation port here on this side. The sun did set, so I did just work into the night, but as many of you know, here in Virginia, our days are very short during the winter months. I came out the next day and I prepped these windows. After prepping them, I then applied the high gloss paint to the window frames to ensure that they will last the test of time. Whenever painting exterior surfaces, I always opt for a high gloss. High gloss paint is better at repelling water, and water is the enemy here. Whenever you are fixing a house, your number one issue will be derived from moisture. Again, I painted the back portion of the house and then I moved on to a side window. Scraping away any chipping paint and applying liquid nails into any cracks. I buy the industrial size tubes of liquid nails. It is not flexible, but it does bond well with wood. So if you're looking at flexible surfaces that will be shifting, you will not want to use liquid nails. But if it's a surface that you want to ensure it remains secure and it does not move, liquid nails is your best bet. And it's actually a lot cheaper just to buy the industrial size tube of liquid nails than to buy many smaller tubes of caulk. So I moved on to the front part of my Dutch Colonial Revival home, and I'm bringing this facade back to life. I'm, again, using high-quality exterior paint to make these architectural details pop. It did rain a little bit, but it wasn't too severe, just a couple drops. But that wasn't going to deter me from my project for this day. I then moved on to painting the shutters with a high-gloss black paint. Studies have shown that homes with black shutters and black doors not only increase in value, but can also increase the value of neighboring properties. So I opted for this color scheme. I then moved on to the next part of my project, which was the door. After prepping the door, I then came back and finished painting it the next day. There was a lot of little details and a lot of nooks and crannies on this house which needed to be addressed, and by having all the tools needed, I was able to get this project done. Now I've covered quite a bit, but there's more to be done. So again, I'm back on the front of the house and I am tackling the shutters and the intricate details on the eaves, known as teeth. So this is the dental work, which I have been working on the front of the house, and now I am back to restoring the original shutters. These shutters actually do work. And if I were to remove the original wooden storm windows, I would be able to close these shutters. These are nice architectural details which have stood the test of time, and I am happy to have been able to restore them so that they will last another 100 years for future residents of this home. Many of us who do restore older homes realize that we are just custodians of these homes. One day, another family, another individual will come and they will own the home. So as the current custodian of this house, I want to ensure that I am preserving as much of the original character as possible so that people in 100 or 200 years, when they come and they see this house, they will be able to appreciate the Colonial Revival character of this home. So then I moved over to the sunroom. Originally, this sunroom would have been open, and there probably would have been a screen porch here. Along the timeline of this house, this screen porch was enclosed and became a sunroom. Surprisingly, this part of the exterior actually had probably the most amount of prep that was required. This part of the house is facing south, so I'm assuming that is part of the issue. The gutter also had some issues. It was leaking onto the eaves right there. It didn't cause any damage, but it just caused a lot of the paint to need to be scraped off. After finishing up with the sunroom, I then moved on to the addition. This addition is probably from the 40s. And after painting and sealing up the upper part of the trim, I then went back and looked over a couple areas of the house. While the front and the sides of the house are finished, I still have more work that needs to be done on the rear portion of the house. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.